So guys, today I've gone ahead and made a timeline graph here, basically to show the main release dates for the upcoming content going into next year, ahead of the Codename Apollo expansion. Now, using this, I've also worked out the release date for Codename Apollo, and I'm also going to be showing you my speculated release dates for the Apollo dev stream and Apollo reveal streams as well. Now, those two content drops are going to be the main sources of information that we get about Codename Apollo, but then Bungie's obviously going to be sprinkling in some other articles as well, talking about the expansion sometime next year before it obviously releases. So today, just going to be sharing you the dates that I've figured out here myself, and I want to say that these dates are not 100% confirmed. These are obviously just me being bored and kind of just working out for myself when stuff could be releasing, and this is just to basically paint a picture to kind of get you guys excited for when stuff should be releasing. So let's first start off with where we are currently, that being Revenant Act 2, which went live on the 19th of November 2024, which was last week as of the time of recording this video. And you can see in game right now the release date for Revenant Act 3, with the timer suggesting that Act 3 goes live in about 41 days as of the time of recording this video. So that would suggest that Act 3 of Revenant will be going live on the 7th of January 2025. Now, one thing to note is that Act 2 of Revenant is actually going to be the longest act we've ever gotten. That's because normally acts are 6 weeks long, but if Act 2 of Revenant was to be a 6-week long act, that would then suggest that Act 3 would have to go live on the 31st of December, which is a normal time for people to be on holiday. So they've obviously pushed the release date of that back a week, so that means that Act 3 goes live on the 7th of January 2025. Now, going under the assumption that every other act after Act 2 will go back to a 6-week long schedule, this would then mean that Episode 3 Heresy would release on the 18th of February 2025. Now, Heresy itself is going to be the final episode that we actually get, because I think they're going back to a seasonal model or just a completely new model with Codename Apollo. And this episode itself is actually the one that I am most excited for. That's because we go back to the Dreadnought and it's Hive themed, and the Hive story itself is just super interesting, and this episode itself being the final one before the next expansion means it's going to have the most tie-in within that next expansion. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I definitely think that Sivu Arath is going to be the main big bad inside of Codename Apollo itself, maybe even Codename Behemoth, depending on how the new expansion model goes in terms of storytelling. But yeah, very excited for episode 3, because all the story stuff should be leading us directly into Codename Apollo and just telling us how we're going to get there. So with episode 3 going live on the 18th of February, you're able to then work out the release dates for both of its acts, that being Act 2 and Act 3. Obviously, we know Act 1 goes live the same day as episode 3 release. So Act 2 of Heresy would go live on the 1st of April, that being a 6-week long gap between the 18th of February. And then you're able to work out as well, Episode 3, Act 3 would then go live on the 13th of May, that being the final major content drop before the Codename Apollo expansion releases. And you are able to work out from there that if Act 3 lasts the same 6-week long cycle, then Codename Apollo itself would be speculated to go live on the 24th of July 2025. Now, with that all said, those are the main dates for when content's going to be releasing, but now let's go ahead and talk about the release dates for the reveal trailer and dev stream for Codename Apollo itself. So on this chart, you've probably noticed a reference that I have on the top left of the Final Shape release date, the reveal stream and dev stream for those expansions. And as you can see, the dev stream for the Final Shape went live on the 9th of April, with the reveal stream going live on the 22nd of August 2023, and then the release date being the 4th of June 2024. So with those dates in mind, I was able to kind of speculate as to when the dev stream and reveal trailer for Apollo would be happening, and with that information in mind, it paints a picture that the Apollo dev stream would be going live sometime in May. That would be alongside the release of Heresy Act 3, which does make sense considering that it's the last major drop of content before Codename Apollo itself. And then in terms of a reveal trailer, it actually suggested that the reveal trailer would have gone live sometime in September of 2024. Now that has obviously very much past. So if you actually go over to Bungie.net right now and look at the Paving the Way for New Frontiers article, which was the first article that we got revealing both Codename Apollo and Codename Behemoth, basically everything within Project Frontiers, you're able to see that this article did in fact go live on the 9th of September 2024. So this itself helps my workings out to basically suggest that we did actually get the first reveal in September, which makes the other dates that I've actually worked out here more likely to be somewhat correct. But because we didn't actually get a reveal trailer inside of September of this year, I'm actually going to take a look back at how previous episodes or seasons have gone in terms of their follow-up expansion releases. So if you look back at some previous seasons that we got, like Season of the Wish, that was the last season before the Final Shape released. During that final season, we did get the official trailer release for the Final Shape and basically saw that somebody would be going inside of the Traveler itself, and that would be where we would end up going, and that we would use a wish to kind of get there. So, under that assumption, I'm going to suggest that Episode 3 Heresy's release date is also going to be the same time that we actually get our first trailer drop for Codename Apollo itself. This kind of makes sense because they do normally end up spoilering how we end up getting to the next expansion. So I'm assuming that we either use the Dreadnought itself to kind of go to a new destination or something like that. Or maybe there's some new story beat that tells us how we get to Codename Apollo itself. But yeah, those are just the things that I've worked out here today. So once again, I would think that the reveal trailer for Codename Apollo goes live sometime close to Episode 3 Heresy. Maybe when they do a reveal stream for Episode 3 Heresy, they then also drop the trailer or talk a little bit about the next expansion. Maybe do like a combo thing that they've done before, which would be amazing. And then sometime inside of Heresy Act 3, I feel like they will then do the developer live stream where they show off actual gameplay of Codename Apollo and stuff like that. Now, in terms of things that I feel like could be revealed inside of these two major drops, those being the reveal trailer and the dev stream, I'm really hoping that they do a similar thing to what they did with the Lightfall expansion in terms of their marketing for it. So if you remember back with Lightfall, they actually showed off Strand inside of the first trailer, which generated a lot of hype and ended up with Lightfall, I think, being one of the most pre-ordered expansions ever. Now, obviously, Lightfall didn't go to plan with the storytelling aspect of it, so hopefully they learn from that. But I would really like to see them go all out inside of that first trailer to generate the most amount of hype possible, because this is going to be the first new expansion outside of the Light and Darkness saga. So they kind of need to generate that excitement to kind of bring players back who are now kind of like, okay, I'm done with Destiny. The storyline I've been attached to for the last 10 years is over. So the first trailer is kind of going to be the main drawing point of getting those old players back in, as well as drawing in new players as well. Then maybe inside the dev stream, they show off even more stuff. I really hope that they don't do what they did with Final Shape, where they revealed Prismatic at like the very last reveal. I really hope that they start off strong and show off everything that Apollo has to offer within that first trailer or first reveal, whatever that ends up being. But yeah, that's it from me here today, going over all the release dates and stuff. Like I said before, none of this is confirmed. This is just me kind of speculating and guessing at the very best. But I hope that you guys have found this at least a little bit interesting and insightful. So if you have, a like, and if you could subscribe would be very much appreciated. But with that all said, that is it from me here today. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.